Ankit, thank you so much for such a warm welcome. Good afternoon, one and all present here. And I'm so excited to start this journey, this webinar on art of influencing without authority. I know this is a webinar format, and I know most of you cannot speak, but I would love to still interact with all of you. So feel free to put your questions or, whatever polls or activities or questions that I asked in the chat box. And we have Suhani from my team and also Ankit, who will help me with the questions in the chat box. So without wasting any more time, let's get into this lovely webinar. I hope everybody can see my screen and I move on. Okay, I want you to think that if you've ever experienced one of the below situations which I'm going to list out, okay, I want you to think about it. If you've mailed someone's ignored your mail, or another department delayed your work, or you had great idea, but nobody supported. Someone junior convinced everyone and it was not you. You had no authority, but were expected to deliver results. I just want you to think for a moment. And if you think that's ever happened, you can put it in the chat box or you can give me a thumbs up where I know that it has happened. For most of us, we might have been in this situation at some point in our life or other. Or we might have experienced all these experiences. And I can see so many responses in the chat. Yes, so we've gone through it, right? Most workplace challenges are not really technical. Okay, they are all influence challenges. Now let's understand what is this influence. Influence is the ability to positively shape someone's thinking, decision without relying on formal authority. Is everybody with me? I hope so, and I hope I'm not going too fast. Okay, let's look at what is authority and then what is influence. Authority comes with position. Influence comes from people. Authority gives instructions, whereas influence builds commitment. Authority creates compliance. Influence creates ownership. Authority depends on hierarchy, and influence depends on trust. All good till here? If you feel at any point of time some slide resonates with you, feel free to take a screenshot so that you have it for your future reference. So now that we know what is authority and influence, I want you to again think. Think of someone who's influenced you or has influenced your life. It doesn't have to be your boss or teacher, nor your parents. So think of somebody other than these on the screen. Someone who simply changed your thinking. Think about it. I hope everybody's thinking and making a note. And I'm sure all of us have at least one person who has sometime in our life influenced us with something. Now I want you to think about it. What was it that they influenced us with? Did that person influence us because they had authority? Or were they something that resonated with us? I want you to think and make a note in your notepad at this point of time. I hope everybody is making a note. Okay, let's look at some myths and reality in terms of influencing. People only listen to managers. That's complete myth. The fact is, people listen to people they trust. So you don't have to have a designation so that people listen to you. People will listen to you if they trust you. Second myth. We're here to burst the myth. Influence is about speaking loudly. Absolutely not. Influence is about listening deeply. While you're listening, you're also asking relevant questions. Experience guarantees influence, not necessary. Credibility earns influence. Networking is manipulation. Networking is actually relationship building. For example, networking is not how many people you add to your LinkedIn profile. Networking is simply connecting with them, exchanging ideas, collaborating. That is networking. It is not how many business cards you collect. It is what you do after you've collected them. That is right networking. I hope everybody is with me till here and we are able to burst some myths and we've identified some facts and realities about influencing. Moving on. Why people say, instead of asking, how do I convince people, what makes people want to support me? I'm going to give you 5 drivers that is going to help you to influence people. Sounds good? First one, trust. Second, credibility. Third, relationships. Open communication. Are you able to explain your idea clearly? Whatever you're trying to say, does it resonate or are you able to pass on the message? And value. What is in it for me? These are 5 drivers that will help you influence people without authority. So trust, credibility, relationships, communication, and value. Out of these, now I want you to think trust, credibility, relationships, communication, and value. On your notepad again, I want you to think which is your biggest strength out of the 5. Please make a note. And also, which one needs improvement? I'll repeat my question. Out of these 5, because you're going to need this, right, to influence people, I want you to make a note, which is your biggest strength out of these 5. And which do you think is something that you would want to improve in yourself? This is all self-reflection, guys. You're working with yourself, right? Because we are going to learn how to influence others. And for that, we do not need a designation. Are we good till here? I hope once you finish, you just put down in the chat box that done or give me a yes and so that I can move on. Are we good till here? Okay, I can see some responses. Thank you so much. Moving on. Okay, now influence. We have to influence people. Before that, a very, very important question. Who are your stakeholders? Or who are these stakeholders? Stakeholders are people or group of people who affect or are affected with the work that you do. Okay, let's list down people. But before that, let's look at a employment engagement carnival scenario. I love this. Imagine you're a part of a HR team. Okay, and your organization is planning a 2-day employment and engagement carnival. This is to encourage cross-functional collaboration, recognition, all of that activity. But you're a part of the HR team. Okay. Now, what we will do in this carnival is we'll have competition, we'll have games, we'll have town hall, we'll have food stalls, team building activities, live entertainment, awards, recognition, all of that. Okay, I hope you're making a note. You're part of the HR team. Okay, now I want you to think if you had to organize an event like this, whose support would you need from the organization? Which are these different set of people from different roles that you would need for this particular activity? I hope you're giving it a thought. Let's look at who it can be. I'm sure I'm going to name some, and your list might be longer than, what I've put down on the screen. Let's look at them. Possible stakeholders that you would need are senior leadership people who are in the senior leadership role. Finance team, very, very important. That's where the money is coming. HR team, obviously, because that's your whole entire team needs to support you, right? Admin, procurement, IT team, communication, marketing, employees, vendors, and of course, security. I'm sure you might have some and I might have missed some, but more or less, these are your stakeholders that you would need to make this event successful. All with me? Okay, now let's look at it. What are these stakeholders thinking? Okay, the people who are in the leadership role, okay, who are in charge of making those critical decisions, giving sanctions, giving approvals, they are thinking that will this improve employee engagement? Will this justify the investment that has been made? What about finance? Do we have budget for this? Vendors, do we have clear expectations and timelines set? IT is thinking, do we have enough equipments and technical support to get this done? Admin is thinking, can we manage logistics without disrupting the other official operations? And what about employees? They are thinking, if we are putting in all that time, effort, energy, is it worth my time? Am I going to be enjoying it? Okay, so this is what everybody, all the stakeholders more or less thinking. Now, let's look at some reflection questions. Considering we have to plan this, some questions that we need to understand and answer. Who can delay our project? Which stakeholder has the best influence? If finance says no, what will we do? If employees don't participate, can the event still be called successful? And who should we engage first? I hope everybody's still with me. Hold on, I'm going to tell you how you need to behave or influence or how build relationship with each of these stakeholders and which quadrant do you put each of these stakeholders. Let's look at how you can map these stakeholders. I hope you can see my screen and I hope you can see my cursor. On this side, you have people who has power and who can influence such an event. And here you have people who have immense amount of interest to do this event. Now let's look at each quadrant. Out of the stakeholders go in different quadrant. Okay, it can be, we've taken an example of this particular event. This is just to give you a roadmap that going forward, if you need to do it, you need to understand where you need to put which stakeholder and what you need to do with them so that the event is a hit. So a person who has high power and influence and has greater interest, what will you do with that person? You will engage them closely, involve in key decisions, and there will be regular communication and update. Now, a person who has power but is not interested in events like this, you would satisfy them, inform them occasionally, and address their concerns. Don't go to them with every small little problem. You just have to be informing them overall what's happening. Then people who have great interest, but they don't have power, keep them informed. Their feedback is going to be very, very valuable because they're really interested. And seek their feedback, communicate with them so that you get this event a big hit. Now, the people who have low power and low interest. What do? Do you leave them? Not at all. You have to take everybody along with you. Okay, so keep them informed if there is any changes that is happening. Okay, so probably a venue change, time change, activities change, keep them informed so they feel included in what you're doing. I hope it gives you a fair roadmap as to what you need to do and who and how you need to communicate with your stakeholders. Are we good, Tilia? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and if anyone have any questions regarding any,
Yes, please.
please
Thank
drop
you, Ankit.
in the
Yes.
chat box, or else you can also raise your hand. I will allow you to talk.
Excellent. So if you have any questions regarding this, of course, raise your hand and Ankit is going to unmute you and we can speak with each other.
Ma'am, we have got one question from Priyanka. She asked to, could you please explain once again?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You can also see the chat box, ma'am, where people can answer and you can see all those interactive sessions.
Okay, but it's gone again. So I'm thankful that you read it out. So she wants me to explain it again, right? Can you unmute her? Will it be possible, Ankit, to unmute her?
If she can raise, ma'am, if you can raise your hand, I will allow to talk.
Okay, Priyanka, right? Priyanka, can you please raise your hand?
Yeah.
Hi, Priyanka.
Is my voice audible?
Yes, now you are. Hi.
Yeah.
Ankit, is it just me or can you hear her?
I can hear him. Ma'am, you can ask your question, ma'am.
Yes, Priyanka, please ask a question. What is it regarding? You want me to explain stakeholders to you, or do you want me to explain how do you categorize and put the stakeholders in which quadrant? Priyanka? Ankit, can you hear her?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No.
in that case, I hope we've understood who are the stakeholders. Priyanka, I hope we've understood different stakeholders that we would require, and we've taken an example of a carnival to understand that there are different stakeholders. Sorry, do you want me to stop?
You can proceed, ma'am.
Okay, I'll repeat myself, Priyanka. I hope this will clear your doubt. We've taken an example of an event that a particular event that we are trying to organize for employment engagement, right? Now we've tried to understand who would be these different stakeholders that we would require for this particular activity. And we've identified there are different people that we would need to make this activity a big hit. Okay, here we are talking about what is it that is going through their mind while they are our stakeholders and helping us out in this event, right? So everybody's thinking a particular thing. In the meantime, we are also asking ourselves, and if we are not, whenever we plan an event like this, we should start asking these questions to ourselves. Who can delay this project? Which stakeholder has the highest influence to make this event a hit? If finance says no, do I have a plan B? If employees don't participate, will this event still be called successful? And who out of these stakeholders do I need to engage first, or what is it that I need to do with a particular stakeholder? I hope we are good till here, Priyanka. Moving on. Now, we are putting our stakeholders into different quadrants so that we cannot behave a certain way, same way with all our stakeholders, right? There will be people who will be very, very interested, very, very enthused, but probably would not have the power, authority to support us. So we need to put them in different quadrants. Now, what we are trying to understand is if our stakeholders has high power, okay, high power, and has high interest in an activity like this, so you manage and work with them closely. Now, how do you communicate with them? You will engage with them closely. You will involve them in all the key decisions that you take and make. Regular communication and update will help us to take the level a notch higher. So this is for people who have power and also interested in an activity like this, who believe this kind of activity will help team bonding, ultimately give us productivity. Okay, the second kind of people are people who call the shots, that is, who run the show, who has the power, who has the influence, but probably they do not have the time and maybe they might not be interested in this, but they know they have to get it done. So now what do? Whatever the activity you're planning, you inform them. Overall, a bigger picture, keep them informed. If they have any concerns, you make sure you address those concerns, right? You
Hey,
cannot
Shweta,
put, yes.
sorry to interrupt. There's a question in the chat box.
Huh.
So Snehankur is asking if you could explain the 4 quadrants with practical examples for each department, and it would be further helpful if you could share department-wise
Okay,
example
fine.
HR accounts, so that everyone can understand better how each activity fits into the respective quadrant.
Okay, fine. So going back to the first one, manage closely. Okay, this particular quadrant, people from HR are the people who are with influence. They have the budget. They are the people who do activities like that so that there is employee engagement. Yes, everybody with me? They're the one who has the power, who has the authority, and also are interested. So all these people come in this particular quadrant where we say manage closely. You work with them and you, assuming you are from the same department. So what do? You engage with them closely, involve in decisions, regular communication. These are the people who are in manage closely, your stakeholders. Now the second one, these are the people who have the authority. They are somebody in the leadership role. Like without their signature, you cannot probably go ahead with an activity like this. Yes or no? So these are the people, what do you do with them? You have to give them a general overview as to what is happening. Yeah, they might not have time, they might not have energy or interest to plan activities with you, but they are very high in power. They are the ones jiske sign ke bina you cannot start this particular event. So these are the people that you need to inform them, address their concerns if they have any. Third one, these are the ones जिनको बहुत interest है. They are very interested, but probably they don't have the power. And this can be people from probably IT. You never know. This can be from any department, in fact, who are not in a leadership role. They would have a lot of two bits to give. We should do this, we should do that. This will make this event very good. Even for example, vendors, they might have some suggestions to give. Last time in this organization, we did this particular event and it was a great hit. So maybe somebody who's interested in giving their ideas, but might not be in the power. So these people, what do? You check with them. Can we do this? Communicate with them, involve them, ask for feedback. It's always good to have feedback. This can be the low participant, the low influence and the low interest would be somebody from probably IT department. They have to be a part of it. So you have to make sure you have to have those team. Probably they do not have the authority to sanction this event, or they are probably not interested in, what games you are having. But you have to ensure that they are there because you're going to have town halls. So that is why what do you do with them? Make sure you communicate with them. Any small details, if there is a change of venue, time, activity, keep them informed. Sounds okay? Was I able to explain it? Are we good till here? Suhani, Ankit, are we good?
Yes, perfect. Someone said.
Okay, thank you. Moving on. So the golden rule of influence is Do not try and sell a problem. Okay, stop selling your idea. Start solving their problem. And let's look at it. Rather than saying we need more budget, change the lingo to the investment will reduce manual effort, improve customer response time, and save approximately 200 work hours annually. So stop selling your idea that I need a budget. You tell them why do you need that budget instead of telling them that you need a budget. Yeah, so this is how you can influence. Okay, now message makeover. What we were doing till today, henceforth we will change our message. Okay, for example, imagine that you're speaking to your manager and the statement is, we need more resources for this project. How will we rewrite it now? Because we are trying to do a makeover of our message. Rather than saying we need more resources, we will say adding one additional team member will help us complete the project on schedule, reduce overtime, and ensure we meet the client's deadline. Problem nahi batana hai, we have to give them a solution. Okay? Now, think of someone at work whose opinion people value. Think about your workplace where there's someone whose opinion people value. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Why do people trust them? And they don't have to be your managers or bosses. And all the more better if they're not managers or bosses, somebody who people value their opinion. Why do people trust them? Is it because they're the smartest person in the room? Or is it because they're dependable, respectful, and consistent? I want you to reflect and answer that for yourself. Think of someone who's not your boss, but their opinion is valued, even by you probably. And then ask, why do people trust them? Credibility is the currency of influence. What it tells us is, it's the credibility of that person that make people trust them, value them, respect them. People are more likely to support your ideas when they believe you. And when can that happen? And how can you build credibility? Right? We spoke about credibility, but what is credibility and how can you build credibility? Credibility is your competence. Your competence, can you do the job? Are you the person? Are you the right person to do this task from point A to point B? Do you have character? Can I trust you? Are you a man or woman of your word? Whatever you say, do you stick on to it? And most important, are you consistent? Is it just a one-time deal or are you consistent day after day? Can I rely on you every time? And if you're able to do this, competence, character, and consistency, you're able to establish credibility. That is how somebody will ask that, Shweta, how do we establish or build credibility? This is how. Doing the job right. Doing it with utmost care. If you've given a timeline, sticking by it. And of course, being consistent, doing it with every action. Now, to build credibility, of course, you need to have expertise. Okay, you need to improve. You have to be updated with your skills, improve your skills. Whatever knowledge you have, you need to share it. And of course, apply that expertise, right? You cannot just keep the information, knowledge, everything to yourself. Second is integrity. Be honest. Keep your promise. Do the right thing always. And stay ethical. Reliability, being on time. Deliver the work that you've promised, the quality of work. Follow through. You need to be dependable, not one time, but every time. Listening, are you actively listening, asking questions, looking at others' perspective? Respect, be polite, kind, value every individual that is working with you, any kind of stakeholders, appreciate differences, and no matter of the role or the title. And consistency in words and action, maintain your standards to build a long-term trust and relationship. These are your 6 blocks to build credibility. And this you need to do it over and over and over again. Credibility cannot be built overnight. It builds one action at a time. I want you to think of your manager ask you to nominate one colleague to lead an important client presentation. Okay, you have to choose. Okay, think about who would you choose. Somebody who's knowledgeable, never misses deadline, but doesn't respond to email or doesn't collaborate. This is your person number 1. And your option number 2 is somebody who has good technical knowledge, always prepared, keeps commitment, supports team member, and is calm under pressure. Who would you choose, guys? Obviously, most of us will choose option B. Yes. Now, another thing that I want you to think about. Imagine you have 100 credibility points and you have to spend it on qualities. How would you invest them? This is your activity. So on a piece of paper that you're writing your notes, please make sure you do it so that you understand what is more important for you. Expertise, trustworthiness, reliability, communication, empathy, and accountability. You have to give points what is important to you. You have 100 credibility points. How would you spend on the qualities? How would you invest it if you have to? So what you invest in, that means you also have to deliver the same way. If you're expecting credibility out of somebody else, this is how you will also show credibility. So whatever you put down, make sure it applies first to you and then to others. I hope you've done that and doing it. Take your time. If you want to reflect on it later on, I am okay. You can do that while we complete this workshop or after we've completed this workshop. We spoke about networking. Now you need influence for strategic networking. Networking is something like I said, collecting business card, adding people on LinkedIn, talking only when you need help. But actually, we need to ensure we have strategic networking. That means we need to build trust, share knowledge, stay connected. So it's like I said, not how many people you've added on LinkedIn. What are you doing with that many people that you've added? Are you building trust? Are you building knowledge? Are you staying connected? Are you collaborating? So you need to understand networking. If it is strategic, it goes a long way. So strategic networking is intentional, builds genuine professional relationships before you need them. And this is what you need to start doing so that you're able to influence in future, build meaningful relationships, build trust. Okay, why relationships matter? Imagine 2 employees, guys, need urgent help from IT. Employee A only contacts IT when something breaks, never responds to request, doesn't know anyone personally. Pata hai, they are from IT, but he doesn't have personal connect with anyone of them. Employee B regularly appreciates IT support, responds promptly, has good rapport over time. Whose request is likely to be received quicker attention? without a doubt, employee B, right? Everybody agrees? Yes, I can see some responses. Yes. They are also going to connect and receive attention or give attention to somebody who's there, who's appreciative, who is genuine, rather than the person who's only there when, that person needs some work to be done. People are more willing to help people they know, trust, and enjoy working with. I would want you to make a special note of this or probably take a screenshot. How the 5 simple habits will go a long way, which will help you to influence others. Be helpful. Offer support before asking. Before anybody would ask for it, be helpful. Offer support. Second, stay connected. Don't only reach out when you need something. Ensure you are there, you're connected. Just normally now what happens in today's DNA, everybody is so busy. Even if we're sitting in cubicles, we do not just lift our eyes to say hello or how are you or greet a person. We're so busy. Just stay connected. A smile, a good hello will take you a long way. Appreciate others. A simple thank you builds goodwill. Share knowledge. Help people. People will always remember how you've made them feel. So ensure you share knowledge, but don't put them down. Of course, share it in a right way and be genuine. People remember authenticity. You can tell whether he or she is being real or fake. Okay, so be genuine in whatever you're doing. Not because today Shweta has told you that you need to, help people, so I will help. Be genuine, be consistent with whatever you're doing. So these small habits, small changes in you can take you from point A to point B. A small thing, just look up from your cubicle and smile. That goes a long way. Okay. Let's look at circle of influence. Okay. And my first question is, which circle is largest? I want you to answer for yourself. The first circle are the people who you trust and work well with. That's your first circle. Second circle is people you collaborate occasionally. Okay, you have to work with them. This is a workplace scenario. This is a workplace circle of influence. People who you collaborate occasionally. And circle number 3 is people you should know better because they can influence your work. So this is your third circle. I want you to answer which circle is the largest for you. It doesn't have to be based on just the size. It has to be based on the impact that it has on your work. And for each one of you, this circle, the largest circle, will differ. So you answer this for yourself. Which circle is largest for me? Circle of influence is largest for me. Second question, which important stakeholder is missing? Probably there is somebody you work with day in, day out, and probably I have not put it and identified it, and you need to put it in a particular circle of influence. Without them, probably some work of yours cannot get to the end result. So which of the stakeholders is missing in this circle, these 3 circles that I've put down?
Shweta, there's a message in the group comment. It says that it's a mechanically traumatized world where staying connected seems to be a big deal.
Staying connected seems to be a big deal?
Yeah, because it's a very mechanically traumatized world.
Absolutely,
so,
it is.
Yeah, someone has said in the comment.
I completely agree. And is there a question? I agree with what is said there. And that is why I simply put a small thing, not asking for a big thing. If your colleague has probably a birthday or is his or her birthday, I'm not asking you to throw them a birthday party. But a special, probably you can just greet the person. We've forgotten to do that. We've forgotten to smile. And this has happened with me. It has happened in my organization. People become so mechanical, which I completely agree, and they forget small things. Like, we teach our children basic manners, etiquette, say thank you, say please, say may I. We ourselves forget, but it is a wake-up call just to pat on our back and say, listen, we cannot forget these. And this is just a reminder for us that probably we know it, and we know that we need to smile, right? We know we need to say, acknowledge the person. But probably in this hustled life, we probably have forgotten. This is just a tap to say, hey, don't forget, just smile. It takes you a long way. Coming back to the third question, which relationship would make your life easier if you strengthen it? Like, if I have to answer this for myself, I would probably answer people who I trust and work well with. But honestly, it should be the other way around. People you should know better because they have greater influence. So if they have greater influence, I need to build that relationship or strengthen that relationship, because my circle one is already strong, right? So I need to work on the circle that I need to build and make it stronger, because ultimately that's going to influence my work. Like I said, this is a reflection activity. And there is no right, there is no wrong. This is for yourself. You need to identify where you stand and what you need to do, which circle needs more attention, and identify basically which circle is the largest for you.
Rita, there's a question in the question box. So,
Yes.
what are the lacks, anything common to even start a conversation? And it's quite exhausting to initiate the conversation when others might not be interested.
Absolutely. I'm not asking you, don't tell that person, oh, Shweta's had a discussion or Shweta's had a webinar with us and she's asked us to start a conversation. Don't do something like that. Small things, yeah. I mean, if you actually open your eyes and see, there are times when people are exhausted. Just to ask them how their day was, imagine yourself from the time you leave your house to the time you reach your workplace. There are so many hurdles that you pass, right? Maybe you drive, maybe you take a train, take a bus, take an Uber, whatever it is. There might be things that might have happened on the road while you come to work, or before you leave your house, you probably had a fight with your mom, dad, husband, wife, kids. So it's a challenging day, and now you've stepped into your workplace. And if you see somebody is harrowed, hassled, and probably is not in the right frame of mind, just probably go up to the person after you see a right time to speak to them. I hope everything is okay. That's all that it takes. Not because I've asked you to do it genuinely, whether if you want to build relationships. And why am I saying this? You cannot expect somebody to do your job because you are working at a certain place. You need to be nice to people, irrespective if you have worked with them or not. So I understand it is challenging and people would not like to engage, but find that right moment. And it doesn't have to be too big. It can be just too small. Like probably asking, I hope you're okay. Can I offer you water? Do you need water? Small things. I hope I've answered that. Is there any more question in the chat box? I'm sorry, I cannot see the chat box and presentation at the same time. That's why Suhani
No,
is...
there's nothing. No, there's nothing. There's nothing in the comment box. You
Okay,
can carry
thank
on.
you so
Yeah.
much.
No
Thank
worries.
you. Okay. Now, which relationship do you want to strengthen this month? Now that we've spoken, and I know it is challenging, सबके साथ relationship नहीं build करना है, strengthen नहीं करना है. Think about somebody who you would like to strengthen your relationship this month. Small steps, baby steps. It can be your manager. It can be a cross-functional team member, senior leader, or a customer, or someone outside my team. Somebody. जिसके साथ आपके रिलेशनशिप अच्छे नहीं है, and you want to make a difference, you want to strengthen that relation, probably make a note who it is. Small things. Now, imagine this situation. Your colleague has missed the deadline for the third time. Okay? And your project is getting delayed. How would you respond? Okay, this is basically, yes, build relationship. Yes, have trust, build in trust, all of that. But at the same time, we have to be true. So you cannot be fake. And while you're communicating, you need to have assertive communication. So if your colleague has missed a deadline, Shweta ne bola hai relationship build karna hai. So will we tell the person, or we will stay quiet or get angry? Or the third option is speak honestly while remaining respectful. It's the third one. Please inform the person. You don't have to be fake because I've asked you to build relationship. Please tell them honestly why. You don't have to get angry. You do not have to lash out on them, but tell them in a way that they understand that because they have missed this deadline, ultimately what's going to happen, right? So show them the end picture. Don't tell them the problem. Tell them that if this continues, then there will be no appraisal, no promotion, no, we're going to lose the client, all of that, rather than lashing out on the person. Now, 3 styles of communication. I said we need to be assertive. Let's understand what is assertive communication. There is passive, there is aggressive, there is assertive. Now, passive is somebody who avoids conflict. Kuch nahi bolenge. Aggressive is who creates conflict. But we at the workplace need to be person who resolves conflict. So by shouting, we are going to be aggressive. We don't want to shout. We don't want to avoid. We want to resolve. So we need to inform the person, not brush it under the carpet. A passive person doesn't express needs. Aggressive person ignores others' needs. An assertive person respects both the sides. You respect both the sides, but do what is correct. A passive person says it's okay. Aggressive person says, do it now. I don't care. I want it now. An assertive person says, let's find a solution. Passive will build frustration. Aggressive person will build resistance. An assertive person will always build trust. Somebody who's all ears, who's there to do the right thing. Right ko right bolna hai, wrong ko wrong bolna hai, but there is a way to say it. Are we good till here? Do we have any questions, Suhani, in the chat box?
No, there are no questions. Guys, you
Okay.
can drop the questions if you have in the chat box.
Thank you, Suhani, for that. I think there's something somebody's written. No?
No, it says good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now we've understood 3 different personalities, passive, aggressive, and assertive. Okay, there is another communication style that is passive aggressive. We're not looking at it right now because we want to be assertive, right? We need to have an assertive communication style. Now let's look at what is the assertive formula or how to have assertive communication. Describe the situation. The report was submitted 2 days after the agreed deadline. Say the fact the way it is. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't lash on it. Say the situation the way it is. Describe the situation. That is step number 1. Step number 2 is explain the impact. This delayed our client presentation. So what is the impact that has caused? It has delayed our client presentation. Express your need. I appreciate it, but if in future reports could be shared by the agreed date. So you establish, okay, this has happened. Iska impact ye hai, but going forward, this is your need. Then let's agree that in future, we will respect each other's timelines. And fourth one is invite collaboration. If there is anything we can do to make that easier. So probably ask if there are any challenges, if the report is delayed, don't assume that, the person kuch karna nahi hai, or, he's shirking work. Invite collaboration. Ask if there are any challenges, if anybody can help. Can we do it together? Is there some support that you need from our end? So assertive formula is very simple. 4-step, describe the situation the way it is, and explain the impact, express your need, and of course, invite collaboration. Few things that you will change starting today after this workshop, and have assertive phrases in your vocabulary. Take a screenshot. I'm good with that. Whatever, do not say henceforth whatever you think. Instead, say, I like to share another perspective. This won't work. Can we explore another option? Instead of saying you are wrong, say, I see it differently because, and then give a reason. That's not my job. Here's how I can support and also manage my priorities. You never listen. I'll appreciate the chance to finish my point. Take a screenshot, guys. I'm good with that, because this is how, and this is what will make you sound more assertive and make you an assertive communicator. So please take a screenshot of this. And once you do, if I just can have a couple of things saying you've done or yes, so that I can move on. Are we good? Okay, thank you. Okay, now, how do we handle difficult conversations? I'm not saying only by doing that, you're not going to have difficulty at work. But now let's look at how to handle difficult conversation. Think about difficult conversations you've been avoiding. Probably, why do we avoid these conversations? Actually, type one answer. Why do we normally avoid difficult conversations? Let's hear what you have to say. Suhani, I'm looking at the chat box. I want to hear from people. Why do we avoid difficult conversations? Avoid chaos. Okay. Hard communication. Yeah. Yes. To prevent biases. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Don't want to lose energy and mental space. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Peace of mind. Yes. Don't want to hurt someone. Yeah. Doesn't it always include asking opinion? Okay. Trust issues. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes, more or less, see, we have almost same reasons. We are scared and we want to avoid further negativity. Okay, we do not want to have a stressful relationship. It can be anywhere. That is why we try and avoid difficult conversations. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the response. Now, we all have some reason why we avoid difficult conversations. In this webinar, I know I might not be able to answer each and every point that you've put down in that chat box, but I'm going to give you a framework, a general framework to work with, and try using it and tell me if it works. Give feedback to Ankit if it works, and if in future, if it allows us to have a longer conversation and not in a webinar mode, we can discuss this further. So right now, let me give you this framework. Take a screenshot or make a note of it so that you can use this, because all of us at some point or the other have avoided difficult conversations. So a calm framework. Clarify the facts. Talk about what happened and do not assume. Okay? Whatever that conversation is related to, talk only about what has happened rather than assuming. A, acknowledge the feeling. Show empathy. Okay? Don't say, probably, empathize with the person. Think about how that person must have thought, probably, if there is a report that is delayed. So,
Shweta, 1 minute. There
yes.
is a girl stating Shweta, Shweta Janeja, that could you please type in the chat as I'm unable to view your screen. Shweta, is it a problem from your end or our end?
Say that again. Who's this? Suhani.
No, Shweta Janeja
Okay.
is having a problem in the she's not able to view the screen.
Can you view my screen?
Okay, cool. I'll tap in the chat box. No worries, you can carry on.
Okay. Can you view my screen?
Oh yes, the screen is visible from everyone's end.
Okay. Can I move on?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So the first C, like I said, is clarify the facts. That is, talk about what happened and do not assume. The second is acknowledge the feeling. That is, show empathy. Okay, for example, if somebody has delayed a report, okay, do not assume. Empathize with the person. There can be some problem. There can be an emergency that might have come up. So acknowledge the feeling. Talk with empathy. Do not lash out on the people. Listen actively, and listening actively, people have this notion that we do not talk. Listening means, when you're actively listening, that means you have to keep your mouth shut. That's not true. Listening actively is asking right questions. And M is move towards solution. Focus on the future. Do not talk about the past, because that is what happens, and that is simply why, because we try and avoid these difficult conversations. Oh God, we are going to talk and open that bucket all over again. So rather than that, stick with facts, clarify facts, acknowledge feelings, actively listen, ask right relevant questions, and move towards solution. What can we do in the future? Moving towards the future. Instead of you are responsible, try to say this report was submitted after the agreed deadline. Small tweak in a vocabulary will take you and to a different level, and you probably will not have that problem of difficult conversations at the workplace. Skipping feelings can create distance. I understand you've had a busy week. Empathy, okay, acknowledging feelings. Assuming you know everything. Instead of assuming you know everything, try this. Can you help me understand what happened? And instead of staying stuck on a problem, try what can we do differently next time. I know it's a framework, I know it's a short time, but to begin with, I would request you to just try to follow this at your workplace problem situations that you've been trying to avoid. Okay, now quick reflection activity. A colleague has missed an important deadline. Which response would make them feel more motivated? This is unexpectable. You've delayed the project. Please ensure it doesn't happen again. This is response number 1. And response number 2 is, I noticed we've missed the agreed deadline and it has impacted the project timeline. I wanted to check in, was there something that made it difficult? Let's see how we can avoid this in the future. Response 1 is something that a robot can give you without emotions, without feelings. That is the response. But imagine you are that person who's missed a deadline. What will motivate you? A person talking to you like a response 1 or response B, who has little empathy, who understands you, who gets you, and who's here to work with you. Rules for better difficult conversations. Number 1, before the conversation, prepare your facts and manage emotions. Very difficult, but preparing it beforehand will go a long way. So before you have that conversation, prepare. Second, during the conversation, listen more than you speak. Work towards a solution. Manage your emotions and focus on behavior, not the person. It's not personal. Nobody has to take it personally. It's the behavior that we are addressing. These are 2 rules. If you remember this, lot of problems would be solved. Preparing before a conversation, and what are the steps that you need to keep in mind during the conversation. Okay. Now that we've spoken about couple of things, this is a reflection for yourself. You need to put it, I don't need it in the chat box, just do it for yourself. The next difficult conversation I need to have is, because there are a lot of conversations that we've been avoiding. So think about a difficult conversation that you need to have. Whoever it is, I want you to follow the framework and approach it, prepare it before, and probably, if you want, you can rehearse the conversation before you go and have that conversation with the person. It can be anybody, stakeholder, your colleague, boss, managers, teammates, vendors, whoever it is. Now, influencing upward, communicating with managers and seniors. Imagine your manager has asked you, you have 30 seconds. Imagine this is your manager asking, you have 30 seconds. Tell me what you need. What would you do? Panic, start explaining everything, or get started to the point, get straight to the point. Quickly, panic, start explaining everything, or get straight to the point. You have 30 seconds. Which one? Okay, exactly. Get straight to the point. You have 30 seconds, guys. When you speak the language of leaders. Instead of focusing on activities, focus on impact. Why does this matter? What decision do you need from me? What happens if we don't do it? What's the business impact? And what's the recommendation? Quickly, 4-step execution brief. Very self-explanatory. That is why I'm going to go through it. And I think we are running short on time. Allow me 5 more minutes. First is situation. What's happening? Customer complaints have increased by 15%. These are 4 steps to executive brief. Situation, that is what's happening. Second is impact. Why does it matter? This is affecting customer satisfaction and repeat business. Third one is recommendation. What do you suggest? I recommend introducing a simplified approval process. And benefit. What's the expected outcome? Reduce response time by 30% and enhance customer experience. So situation, impact, always when you're stepping into this, 4 things that you need to ask yourself. One is situation. Second is impact. Third is recommendation. That is, what do you suggest? And benefit. What's the expected outcome? Okay, now quickly, your team needs approval for a new employee learning platform and you have 30 seconds to convince your manager. Answer, I'm giving you the answer. Answer these 4 questions. First is what's happening today. Second, why is it a problem? Recommendation is what are you proposing? And benefit, what's the value of this business? Example, situation. Our onboarding process is inconsistent across teams. This is your 30 seconds leadership pitch. Impact, new employees take longer to become productive. Recommendation, introduce a digital learning platform which standardizes onboarding module. And benefit is faster onboarding, improved employees and experience, and reduced trained time. This is a framework that I want you to follow. Click a picture, have this ready when next time when you have to pitch something to your leader or your manager. Executive presence, it's not about your position, but it is your presence. Who's that someone at work that immediately commands attention when they speak, and what makes them stand out? This is the same question that we'd asked. Who is this person that will, everybody values their opinion? And 3 things that stands out is clarity, confidence, and composure. Before every meeting, before you step into every meeting, this is what you need to ask. Am I listening as much as I'm speaking? Am I clear about my objectives? Am I bringing a recommendation? Can I explain this in 1 minute? Do I understand my audience? The one now, Since so many things that we've spoken about, this is just a quick reflection for yourself. The one insight that taking away from today's session. You can write it down, and while you're writing it down, I want to leave you with just one thought. That is, influence doesn't come with promotion. It begins with every conversation that you have, every promise that you keep, every relationship that you build, and every problem that you solve. That will add to your influence. I hope I've been able to give some value with this presentation, and I hope I'm leaving you with something to take back from this webinar. Do we have questions? With that, I conclude my presentation. I want to thank each and every one of you for participating. I'm right here. If you have questions, I'm not going anywhere. But if any one of you have to exit, I'm okay. Yes. Yes, thank you so much. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. For those of you who have to exit this webinar, please feel free to do so. Have a good evening, and thank you once again.
If anyone have any questions, no, just raise your hand. I will allow to talk with ma'am.
They can call me Shwetankit. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Priyanka, you can
Her
unmute
name
yourself.
is Priyanka. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know we will have a longer session in the future. There's somebody who's put down that we need to have a longer one where we can have more interaction. I know it was a short 1 hour session, but I hope you're able to take something out of this and able to practice, right away at your workplace. Priyanka's gone. Her hand was raised.
Okay. Gopal, you can now unmute yourself. Okay, then I'll allow Sankar to talk.
Hey, hi Shweta.
Hi.
I must say it was a really, really good session that I ever had,
Oh,
and
thank you.
thank you for sharing a lot of, diamonds or gems over this 1 hour session. I really liked the situation impact recommendation and suggestion.
Yes.
Also, I am very much wanted to ask a question in terms of credibility. So you mentioned 3 C's of credibility. Can you re-explain that? Like, how can you build a credibility very well?
Okay. Now, I just want you to think about an example, like when we think about somebody, like this is before we build credibility. When we look at somebody and we think, oh, he's a credible person, what do you think we are looking at that person with respect to what? His work,
Mm-hmm.
whatever job he is he competent enough?
Okay.
Yes. Is he credible enough to do it? Can we trust him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Are we able to trust him with the job that is given? And is he
Okay.
consistent? He or she consistent with doing that job? And for that, we had 6 different quadrants, right? When we spoke about it, integrity, trust, in terms of whatever knowledge you have, are you keeping it to yourself or are you passing on the knowledge? Because if you keep that knowledge, whatever knowledge you have to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it is not helping anybody. It is not helping you grow. So
Right.
once you have that knowledge, you need to share that knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then in terms of trying to do the right thing, and not because I have told you or there is a webinar that has happened, but because it's the right way to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Live to your timelines. That is, if there is something that you have said that this will be done at 2 o'clock, ensure it is done at 2 o'clock. So once you respect what you have said and deliver it, that's when you establish credibility. These are small things, small practices,
Mm-hmm.
take you long way. But it doesn't have to be a one-time affair. You cannot do it once and forget about it and say that I have established credibility. Credibility is something that you need to do every day, every single day, little by little, little by little. And that's how you will establish credibility. And
Okay.
also at the same time, being authentic, right? You cannot fake it. You need to be true to yourself, right? And others, because people can tell. Like
Okay.
if you are trying to butter somebody, a person can tell, are you buttering someone or are you genuine enough? Right? So that's how you will establish. So be true to yourself while you're doing this. And these are not big steps. It's just small things that will help you in your way of life to influence others even when you don't have authority. And this I've learned very early in my life with my flying career, because it is, you need, as long as you're true to yourself and true to what you're doing, you're able to establish that credibility.
Sure. Thank you.
Was I
Thank you so
able to
much.
explain that, Shankar?
Yeah, really, really well. I got that. Being competent, trust, consistent, sharing knowledge, doing the right thing, and respecting the timeline.
Absolutely. Most importantly, integrity, have that, that always to do that right thing. And it shows, you don't have to say it out, and people see it when you're genuine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shankar.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah.
Ankit, was
Do you
that
have
you?
any more questions, sir? Please.
No, I'm done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shankar. Have a good evening. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, same here.
Ma'am, we have one question.
Shweta. Yes, Shweta. Yes. Tell me.
Ma'am, we have one questions in the Q&A section that nowadays people don't want to listen. They
What?
think
Sorry. Who's talking? Ankit, you're talking?
Yeah, I'm talking, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me. Sorry.
And we have got one question. Nowadays, people don't want to listen. They think they have all the knowledge in the world through Google and mobile. In that situation, training and development may be at a toss. How to tackle this?
I agree. Who's asked me this question? I mean, I can defer.
Sandeep Tiwari.
Sandeep. Sandeep, are you still here? Can you unmute him, Ankit?
If he can raise his hand, I will do, ma'am.
अच्छा, okay. ऐसा है क्या?
And meantime, we have Vaibhav. So Vaibhav, you can.
Yeah, please raise your hand, no, guys, so that I know you're still here, and then we can probably take this discussion forward. Sandeep, are you there? If you're there, please raise your hand. Somebody else is raising their hand, Ankit.
Yeah, I already allowed them to talk, ma'am.
Okay, Sandeep is also there. Okay, Sandeep, after this, please raise your hand. Yes. Unmute. Who's this?
Vaibhav, you can.
Vaibhav? Is it Vaibhav?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
I think.
Ankit, I don't think they can speak.
Yeah. Sandeep, are you there? Yeah, you're allowed to talk.
Sandeep is saying some issue now. Wait, please. Okay, I am here. Don't worry. Take your time. In the meantime, Vaibhav?
Yeah, Shweta, I think I'm
Hi.
unmuted. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, is that
How are
Sandeep?
you? Yeah,
Hi, Sandeep. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yes,
Thanks
Sandeep.
for asking. Yeah.
Yes, Sandeep. Tell
Shweta.
me. Yes.
Yeah, I have just added, in this world of, that we are going towards AI, wherever you go, people do their search on the Google and all. Even though if you have a 15, 20 years of knowledge or like that, you
Yes.
need to adapt to this. But, that question we have asked you that it's it is going to depend upon that only because we, we are also facing this. Your team and all they will say you just yes in order in an order to just show you the gratitude. But it's not like a genuine. They have in their mind that whatever they you are going to teach them or taught them, they are
Okay.
having something in their mind that they know more than you. So it happens. So that's why I have mentioned over there. So if
Yes.
you
Sorry, I'm trying to understand. What is the question? I completely understand, and I agree
no, no,
100% with you that
it's
yes, with
it's it's just a thought, that nowadays, uh, yesteryears we used to make all the PowerPoint presentation and all without using AI and all.
correct.
Nowadays there is a very thin line between what you are getting over AI and what you are doing by yourself. Where is the genuine, that all the genuine and original works. So people they thinking that he is how means even if you have some knowledge which you have gathered over the period, people they will think that we are just copy pasting from the AI. We are making slides that make them learn. So even they are going to listen to you. Hardly they are going to adapt. So in that situation, how we are going to tackle?
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough. I think I've understood your
that's my
question.
question.
Yeah,
That's my
I think I've understood your question. And I
yeah,
completely agree, firstly, to begin with, that everything is available with a drop of, you just have to click and every information is available.
exactly,
Right?
exactly.
Now, this I speak with experience. I have a son who is a Gen Alpha. He's 10 years old. So
Okay,
when I was, when we were kids, right, and we didn't have internet as much as they do at this point of time. So if I tell him anything, they will always have something to go back to, maybe a chat GPT or some Gemini where they will go and cross check. But what from this example, what I'm trying to say is, yes, we will be working with Gen Zs and now Gen Alphas coming into play. Yes, but they are never ever going to replace the amount of experience that we have. Probably for an example that you said, a particular situation, for example, a presentation, a PPT, and they might say, and okay, they might say yes on the face of it. But your credibility or your experience, they are not never ever going to replace. Probably they might get an answer with a click of a button, but when difficult situations come in, the effort, the experience, the energy, time that you've had, they will understand over time. Maybe not right away, but I understand where you're coming from. It is difficult, and as a Gen Alpha mother, I understand this and I resonate with this all the more.
see, actually, this thing, that people they are not using their IQ. They are just copy
Yes,
pasting something, and
yes.
I do understand that making doing something fast, and with so many reworks and all, not going to happen. Because if anything, if real time situation is going to come, then AI is not going to help you out. Yes, AI is very important, but that
Absolutely. That is why, Sandeep, we tried to put a slide where we tried to show, I know it's a short time to probably have that impact, but to say if a machine is giving you a response, it will be only a certain response that you want. The emotional aspect, the empathy, EQ, everything is a miss as
emotional question.
opposed to
Yeah,
what
EQ.
we can bring to the table, right? Yeah. So
Right, right.
probably they might not understand this right away, but trust me, there is nothing that you have to prove to them then and there. Your experience, your knowledge, everything is and everybody understands it, and firstly you need to understand and be happy with it, and they will probably in time understand your importance, so don't worry.
Thanks, thanks,
Thank you, Sandeep. It was nice talking
thanks,
to you.
Shweta.
Have a good evening and all the very best.
Thanks, Shweta. You
Thank
too.
you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Ankit, there was somebody else who had raised their hand.
Oh, I'm not able to see, ma'am.
Okay. I think the hand is, they've lowered their hand.
Yeah.
Are
Is
there
that
any more
there?
questions? Am I missing anything? Ankit, am I missing anything, Baba?
No, ma'am. We are all good to go.
We are good?
There's a question in the
Yes.
not a question exactly, but there's There's someone asking that where can we find the recording of the session for future reference?
I already replied, Shohani.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think we can wind up, ma'am. So
Okay,
if
thank
anyone
you,
have any
Ankit.
questions, please, again, I'm giving you 1 minute more. If anyone have any
Yes,
questions,
please, I'm here.
you
Yeah.
can allow to talk. Okay, then.
No questions, Ankit? We are good?
No, no, ma'am. We are good. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ankit. Have a good evening.
You too, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
audience. Thank you.
Thank you. Suhani, thank you so much, yeah, for all the help.
Thank you. Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening,
Enjoy
Suhani.
to have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.